disguise yourselves as small dogs. Is that correct? This is ridiculous. I am 98% sure this is just a dog.
It's fine. Keep going. We'll do some voiceover. Just read the prompts.
This is a joke. This is all a joke. Fine. Let's just get this over with. Mr. Sprocket, is it true that your species prefers to disguise itself as dogs?
Wouldn't you like to know, lady? You see many Romulians around? There's only one you know about in the Men in Black movies, and he's a pug. Can't go giving you all our secrets.
Oh, very interesting. Can you also disguise yourselves as cats?
Like I said, secrets.
Fascinating. Let's talk life on other planets. There are an awful lot of different sorts of extraterrestrial beings that appear in the Men in Black films. What are your thoughts on the likelihood of life on other planets?
Present company aside, look, the universe is a pretty huge place. It's almost more unlikely that Earth is the only planet that's got living creatures than not. The question is whether you Earthlings can manage to find any of it, and if it's going to fit with what you think of as life.
Okay. Okay. What about creatures like the ones who live on Earth?
Well, you don't know yet, do you? But I hear your scientists are looking for planets like yours in other solar systems. Exoplanets, yeah? One of the big things they do is analyze the way that stars flicker to figure out what sort of planets they've got, what size they are, and how far they are from their star. No tech by my standards, but you humans are pretty ingenious about working with what you got. You gotta respect that.
The dog is leaving. What exactly am I supposed to do now that the dog is leaving?
Just keep going, keep going, keep going.
I've heard about this. I understand we are looking for planets that are about 1 to 2 times the size of Earth, that are rocky, not gas planets like Jupiter, and that are in the habitable zone, not too close to the stars, so they'd be constantly on fire, and not too far away from the stars, so that they would be forever frozen.
And you're looking for the right kind of stars, too. Big, hot stars probably haven't kept these planets warm long enough to develop life anything like life on Earth has. You might be okay with a small dwarf star, assuming the planets weren't constantly cooking themselves on one side and freezing on the other. But a star like your soul here is your best bet.
This is a real thing. Before this system, we could really only detect very large planets like gas giants. Now, we know there are an awful lot of small, rocky planets like Earth. If you want to learn more, you can visit exoplanets.nasa.gov. You can even explore the systems of the planets we've already discovered and print off coloring pages of what their travel posters might look like.
We've found an awful lot of exoplanets in the 20 years we've been looking. Over 3,000. We're off to a good start.
Well, maybe. Like I said, space is really big, and you humans are going about this the long way. With a lot of your space stuff, you're banking on technology you haven't developed yet. The best you can do now is analyze the light that passes through a planet's atmosphere to figure out what sort of gases it contains. None of your telescopes can even get more than the faintest guess what these planets actually look like.
We are working on it, but you're right. Until our technology develops quite a bit, we'd have to be really lucky to find a planet that we can confirm has the right conditions for life.
And you're not even talking about getting there. That one you got all excited about a couple of years ago, what do you call it, Kepler 452b. Light takes over 1,400 years to travel between there and Earth. There's a reason all your space fiction stuff uses faster than light travel. You're gonna need it.
Okay. Let's try closer to home. We just sent the Perseverance rover to Mars. What are your thoughts on life in our solar system?
Have you seen Mars? You don't even know if it has enough atmosphere left to fly a drone properly. You might find life, or signs of past life, but it's a pretty big stretch to even think about life like yours here walking around.
Well, we haven't really seen Mars. Not all of it, up close. We've sent a few rovers, but they have limited equipment and capabilities. The Opportunity rover spent 14 years exploring Mars's surface before it stopped transmitting, and it didn't even travel 30 miles. Lots of people have a longer daily commute.
Okay, fair, but you do know that Mars has pretty much no magnetosphere left. Forget atmosphere you can breathe. You don't have that protecting you. You rule out pretty much everything on Earth surviving on the surface.
Could you elaborate?
Okay, so your magnetosphere here on Earth is pretty impressive. Other planets in your solar system have them, but Earth's got the best of all the rocky planets. It keeps the solar winds from your sun from stripping off your atmosphere and protects you squishy humans from cosmic rays.
That all sounds like stuff you just made up. Solar winds? Cosmic rays?
Hey, don't blame me for your cheesy language. Cosmic rays are cosmic particle radiation. You ever read about how radiation makes you humans mutate? Like get cancer? Or just literally fall apart? You do not want cosmic radiation beating up your planet. And you know your sun is a massively powerful chemical reaction, right? It's constantly giving off a stream of plasma, the state of matter that comes after liquid and gas, not the plasma in your blood, that sprays out everywhere. Even your nice magnetic field can't completely protect you here. That's why solar flares can really mess with your electronics.
Yikes.
So, without the nice magnetosphere Earth's got, solar winds have eroded lots of Mars's atmosphere, and the surface gets smacked by all sorts of radiation. Not a good place to live for Earth-style life. There are ways to deal with that, sure, but you've got to curb your expectations.
Want to check out the weather on Mars? InSight is still sending us temperature, atmospheric pressure, and wind readings from the Elysium Planitia, a smooth, flat area near Mars's equator. Visit mars.nasa.gov/insight/weather. It's a great way to feel better about how cold it gets in Minnesota. August 3rd was a pretty intense day. High of 22 degrees Fahrenheit, low of -162.
We're still studying Earth's magnetosphere and working on ways to shield humans and our electronics from radiation. Some things we can study right here on Earth, but there's a lot we can't test until we're outside of Earth's protective bubble.
You humans have a long way to go, figuratively and literally, but we do get a kick out of watching you try stuff out. I hear you put a little helicopter drone thing on your new rover to see if you can actually get anything to fly on Mars under its own power.
That's ingenuity. We also added a component that will try to create breathable air by stripping the carbon off of the carbon dioxide in Mars's atmosphere to leave oxygen. And we are sending spacesuit materials to see how they handle getting beaten up by Mars dust and radiation.
Oh, so cute. If there is intelligent life on Mars, they're probably laughing at all the little presents you keep sending them.
You can learn more about the Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter at mars.nasa.gov/Mars2020. Based on atmospheric data from previous expeditions, we're pretty sure that Ingenuity will be able to fly, but we won't know for sure until we try it. Perseverance and Ingenuity are scheduled to land on Mars in mid-February of 2021.
We learn fast. As we get more data, we might discover that everything we knew about Mars and our solar system is wrong. Based on what we knew in the late 1800s, we thought that Mars had canals. It turned out to be an optical illusion, which was pretty obvious once we had better technology and information. When all you can see of a planet is a tiny circle with some dark spots and you're used to living on Earth, it's reasonable to assume that there are continents and oceans. But once you can see it better, you can change your mind.
You humans do an okay job with science. And yet, you still put pineapple on pizza.
Deliciousness is not affected by science. Okay, that's actually completely wrong. There's an awful lot of science behind what different people find delicious, but it is also subjective, and I will put pineapple on my pizza if I want to.
Sure, whatever, lady. I'm just saying again that you've got a long way to go. Keep at it, though. Rah, rah, do that science stuff. And if it turns out that you've got everything wrong, keep learning and adjusting until you get it right. Like, put pepperoni on pizza instead of pineapple. And then give it to me, since you apparently do not appreciate the finer things, like pizza that doesn't have pineapple.
Okay, I think we are getting a little off track.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Just think what mess you'd be in if your eye got hit by the moon. Or a pizza.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Sprocket. We appreciate you being here on such short notice.
Watching human science fiction is almost as fun as watching you do actual science. You humans are so creative. A pug. Why would we disguise ourselves as pugs? Hilarious.
I'm glad you approve. Space has fascinated us.
Your coffee is good, though. You gonna figure out how to grow that on Mars, too?
Okay, Jill, we are done here. This is enough. I am done.